Welcome back to the channel, folks. We are so happy to have you here for this video. Kind of looking at the industry as a whole. We cover mobility services, wireless networks, technologies. We cover home broadband. We look at bundles, prices, competition, services, technologies there. One of the things that we're watching very closely is the impact of home internet. The traditional cable operators are feeling it. They're really getting their lunch taken by their competitors, new competitors, recently within the last few years. And, big cable's kind of going through it right now. Their core businesses look very weak. What I mean by that is their subscriber growth continues to hit all-time lows quarter after quarter. All right, so I just read this article, and I'll be sure to link it for you guys, but looking at some of the data points, the key takeaways before we get into the details is fixed wireless access, and then fiber is really crushing cable. And there's reasons for this. Number one is price. Number two is quality of service. Right? That's really what it boils down to. What do customers care about? How much they pay and the reliability of the service. And in some cases, those two things could be flopped in importance, but they're still going to always be the top two most important things. So cable operators saw another consistent kind of year of 0 to negative growth. So we're talking about an entire, segment of time where they're losing customers at a rate of like 1 to 2%, which would probably qualify as like the worst ever over and over again over the course of the last, handful of quarters. So Cox Communications, Comcast, Xfinity, Charter Spectrum. We're talking about communications giants that are losing 1 million or more subs a quarter collectively. Like even just looking at single names, some of them have lost 300, 400,000 subs, right? And those numbers were lower in the previous year. So like even a smaller regional provider like Altice had almost a 4% dip in their growth. I think Charter was almost 2% loss. Comcast was over 1% loss. These customer outflows, they're going somewhere. Like they're going to fixed wireless. So you're seeing Verizon, 5G home internet. You see them adding, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 customers. T-Mobile continues to add in that same ballpark. Now AT&T is involved, right? Their former DSL customers and other qualifying customers, business customers, who are taking to the FWA providers. And this deceleration in growth for cable doesn't really show like it's stopping anytime soon, because remember, you have fiber providers that are building too, and that's a better technology. And very typically you see promotional offers from fiber providers who go into a place. They want to take share, so they come in with really good pricing and get customers on that type of deal. But that's not it. Starlink is growing. Like Starlink has over 5 million subs probably at this point. How? How could Starlink have that many customers? How could they have customers where Charter, Spectrum, and Comcast Xfinity have services? That's really where this thing starts to get alarming. We're seeing the customer flee from big cable. They're running away from them. They want nothing to do with them. They will take the inferior technology. They will take the better price. They will take satellite with all of its restrictions and limitations, and they'll go there. And fiber obviously is the pinnacle and the peak of all things wired technology. And as businesses go in and build these things, the fiber builders, customers take those plans. So to me, it doesn't really matter what cable operators are doing with their hybrid fiber coax build-outs and upgrades, whether it's new forms of DOCSIS with, DOCSIS 3.0, 3.1, 4.0, whatever they're doing to increase their uplink and mid splits and high splits, whatever. I mean, banana splits. I don't really care. The customer doesn't care. What we're seeing is a trend that hasn't really shown to be slowing. In fact, here is the most telling imaging I think that you really just need to see. If you look at this, say like 70% of this graph, which dates back to 2015, all the way up to like pandemic era, right? 2020. You see that spike in growth in Q2 of 2020. What's happened since then? You see this, I mean, it's falling off a cliff in growth. And then it went negative, and the negative's getting larger. The magnitude of the losses is increasing over time. For anyone to predict at what point it's going to slow down, I mean, that's a fool's errand. You just don't know. Maybe cable's starting to change their cost structures and their plans, and they're being more competitive. But, like, you got to ask yourself this, as maybe if someone was an investor in those cable companies, what have they been doing for the last 3 years? What were they doing to stop this? They really just stood by and watched. It's embarrassing, but I mean, the best way to look at it is through the data, and the numbers don't lie. They're losing share. And if I look at fixed wireless access and fiber builders, their graph's going to be inverted. It's going to be the opposite. You're going to turn this side down and this side up, and that's what's happening. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the data. Let me know what you think of the situation for cable. Go ahead and give me your best guess when you think this is going to change, if it is going to change. Let me know. Drop me some comments. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.